Hey.
After 517 days, the time has finally come. Rockstar Games dropped the second trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 on a random Tuesday without any announcement. We'll be taking a closer look at the trailer scene by scene, and trust me, you've missed a lot. Let's get started right away. I will always play a specific part of the trailer and then we analyze it.
What you doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Seriously, dude, you got some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came by?
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian. Love you, Jason.
In the first scene, we see where we likely start the game with Jason Duvall, one of the playable characters in the district called Leonida Keys, and is located outside of Vice City. We can see some birds in the sky. If you look at the top right, you can see a plane flying as well. And on the left, we see two moving boats. Besides the absolute incredible graphics, there's not much else to say. In the next shot, you can see a bit more. We see Jason repairing something on his roof and wiping the sweat from his forehead. Look at the puddle reflecting the sky. Or the lizard walking towards the house. And the seagull standing on the porch. The blue vehicle could also be our starting car that will belong to us in the game. In the next shot, we see a man named Brian Heather. On the Rockstar side, he's described as a typical drug trafficker from the golden days of smuggling in the Keys. Although he still trafficked drugs through his boatyard with his third wife Lori, Brian has been in the business long enough to let others do the dirty work for him. Brian lets Jason live rent-free in one of his properties as long as he helps him with his shady dealings and stops every now and then for a few glasses of Lori's sangria. So, we will have to do a lot for Brian Heather at the start of the game, I guess. If you look at the scene more closely, we can see reflections on Brian's sunglasses, dust and dirt on his car, and even tire marks on the sand. In this shot, we can see Jason climbing down a ladder. Look how the ladder moves when Jason touches it with his feet. Just look at those waves in the background. Absolutely amazing graphics. Just look at how Brian's shirt moves due to his movement and wind. And by the way, look at the background. You can also see on the right side what is probably a raccoon taking something out of a garbage can. Here we can take a closer look at Jason's body. Again, we see reflections on Jason's sunglasses and windows. Jason's necklace also moves during his movement. Again, in this shot, we can see some reflections in puddles and on the car. And look at that lighting. Watch closely in this shot how Jason's neck has a sunburn. Or look at his sweat. You can also see how the lightning changes when he opens the door. For me, this is one of the most impressive shots in the entire trailer. Just look at how many reflections are visible here. We have reflections from the window, inside and outside, the windshield and the rear window, the interior and exterior mirrors, and last but not least, Jason's sunglasses. In this shot, it looks like Jason is punching someone and collecting money. If it's for himself or Brian is unclear. But notice how the hair moves after he punches him. Or the money in the cash register moves when he opens it. It looks like NPCs can also be injured instead of just getting KO'd all the time, as it was in older GTA games. In the next scene, we see a truck in front of us with people sitting in the back. Cars may have trailers with jet skis or anything else, and if you look closely, you can see people cleaning something on the lawn on the left hand side. In the next shot it looks like we will finally be able to train our bodies again, something that wasn't in GTA since GTA San Andreas. NPCs even seem to react to our stature, which could potentially reintroduce the sex appeal feature. By the way, pay attention to the woman's feet when she stops. It looks like we'll be able to buy food just like in Red Dead Redemption 2, but this time we can even buy a 6-pack of beer. If you look out for the poor man on the street, this suggests we will be able to interact again, probably even better than in Red Dead Redemption 2. You can also see how a cat cleans itself, or how the beer moves with the movement. NPCs are getting controlled by several police officers on the street. This creates a much more alive world. Watch how the police car lights reflects off the wall, or how the police officer pushes the other guy.
I'm here for Lucia Caminos. She's supposed to be getting out.
What's your name?
Jason Duval.
I seen you here before.
You might have.
Besides the obviously good graphics, there's nothing to say here, except for the smoke of the airplane. Apparently, we will have a section where we will be in prison with Lucia before we get picked up by Jason. Lucia will start off wearing an ankle bracelet, as you can see, which indicates that she's not allowed to commit any crimes in that time. Besides that, just look at the hair and clothing physics. You can see the ankle bracelet again. And without sounding silly, if you look closely, Rockstar have given Lucia jiggle physics. Here we see a scene where Lucia and Jason presumably raid a bank called the Sinfronter National Bank. It could be one of the first robberies or the last. I honestly have a feeling we will have a lot of love scenes between Jason and Lucia. Look at Jason's hair. The sun is shining on the side, making his hair lighter, and on the top it's darker. Look at how realistically the beer moves again. There's even a little foam on the top. We can see here clearly how realistically the boat moves with the waves and how many individual leaves lie in the water. And again, we can see Lucia's ankle bracelet. Apparently, we will have many different animal species again. Here you can see some ducks, for example. This is the only scene where we see a little rain, but it looks pretty damn good. I think this is some kind of smuggling mission, by the way. Here we see Lucia picking up trash on the street. It's pretty unclear if this is before or after her release from prison. Who knows? Maybe it's an actual in-game activity to get released faster from prison. This is probably Lucia and Jason's first apartment in Vice City. Yes, Rockstar Games, we know exactly what you're doing here. Comparing the leaks and the first trailer, it looks like Lucia has at least a 5-time bigger butt. And by the way, there are really some jiggle physics again, which you can see when she turns around. There's not much to say here apart from the movement of Lucia's earrings. Again, not much to say, Lucia and Jason just holding hands. One thing is clear, and I'm pretty sure about it, we will definitely be able to enter many clubs and buildings in this game. I hope this is just not a cutscene, but a real activity in the game, and I really start to wonder if we can have a boyfriend or girlfriend here for Lucia and Jason apart from themselves, you know? The man on the left side is Drake Crown Price. On Rockstar's website he's described as more of a hustler than a gangster, even if he's dealing on the streets to make ends meet. Breaking into music was the goal. Now that he's signed the Real Dimes, Draquan's days of booking acts into Bobby's strip club might be numbered as he set his sights on the Vice City scene. Here you can see one picture with his signing the Real Dimes as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't find out anything about these people. It seems like some kind of gang. But look at those facial animations, they are out of this world, man. This could be either an escape scene from a theft or even a police chase after Lucia, since she's no longer wearing her ankle bracelet. Who knows, maybe one of these two is an undercover cop in the end. We see another scene with Jason and Brian Heather again. Here it looks like Jason's about to announce that he's quitting working for him. In this shot we can see what appears to be a drug investigation. We also see who could be one of the game antagonists in here. Another very impressive shot. Look at how you can see the hairs of Jason's arm and the veins after each shot. And then there's also the shirt moving because of the wind. This is Roxy, one of the members of Real Dimes I mentioned earlier. Real Dimes apparently have a large social media presence in this game. For many people, this may be a normal dance scene, but look at how Lucia's glitter dress reacts different to the different lights. I'm pretty sure we will have a really good combat system this time, with hundreds of animations. And the next scene confirms my statement even more. Lucia appears to be doing a high kick here, and on top of that, this is a cage fight, which indicates a new activity. Lucia seems to be a good fighter, as Lucia's father taught her to fight as soon as she could walk. This does not look like the same location as the apartment from the beginning of the trailer, which could be another hiding place because they are on the run or something. Here we see Lucia shooting at the police with a grenade launcher. Look at how realistic the explosions are and notice how the shape of the car changes after the explosion. Yes, that's how we all reacted when we saw the second trailer. Jokes aside, in the first trailer we saw some scenes played via social media platform. So, there seems to be a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that there will be a social media platform in the game, where we can find random activities and even hidden places. Believe me, this is the secret feature that will change everything. At first I was thinking the buffed woman was Lucia here, but when I looked more closely I realized that Lucia was the woman with the vest. Apparently there's a fight that will leave one of them falling into the open or something. This scene reminds me a lot of Fast and Furious 5, where they pull a safe with their rope. Apparently there's a function where you can do that in this game. There are so many love scenes between Lucia and Jason that I'm starting to think that one of them will betray the other at the end of the game. I hope that doesn't happen, but there are a lot of hints that it might. It could also be just a Bonnie and Clyde story where both somehow survive in the end, which I would prefer. Here you can see another character posting Lucia and Jason on his phone. Think about it. If one of them is wanted or hunted, for example, your enemies will find your location. Suddenly gangs or the police will show up at the place and storm everything. The possibilities are endless. Really short scene that shows us a lot. People seemingly pose for a photo with a celebrity. Other people photograph exotic cars. NPCs lean out of windows, and all of this at the same time. This is by far the most alive world I've ever seen in a video game. Here you can see again to confirm how alive the world really is. This is by far the most impressive scene in the whole trailer in my opinion. We see a C. Cassidy, a well-known arms dealer in GTA Vice City, who makes a return in this game. Look at how the scene is reflected on the picture on the left side and also on the table, while two seagulls are also flying outside. Also look at how the foam has formed on the half-pint beer on the left and how it's fizzing on the seemingly fresh opened one. You can also see a console that looks like a PlayStation 5. Apparently, Lucia is coming from one of her probationary sessions as she's still wearing her ankle brace. So it seems to be relatively early in the game. Look at how the controller's light shines through one of the beers. Of course, it was pretty sure that we could use helicopters again. If you look at the left side, you can see it on clearly, but it looks like a deer in my opinion. On the right side in this scene, there is also an animal that could be a wild boar. In this scene, Jason and Lucia are on a jet ski, but pay attention to the background. We see some people partying on a yacht, some are in the water and some are on the water with a mattress. It even seems like NPCs can perform various jumps into the water as well. Have I mentioned how cool I think Jason actually is in this game? He looks very cool and handsome, man. Hopefully, this is a new feature that allows us to jump from our vehicles to others. Yes, again Jason and Lucia making some love. Here are some nice action scenes. Here we have another shot where one of our protagonists jumps off a vehicle onto another. So this might truly be a feature in this game. This right here is Kyle Hampton, one of Jason's friends and an associate of Brian Heather. He's more like the chill guy, likes to drink beer, don't worry about nothing. Last but not least, we have the last shot of the trailer showing a little bit of Vice City and the sunset. So that was my personal breakdown for the second trailer of GTA 6. I think it's improved a lot compared to the first trailer, which is absolutely incredible. I think it will even look better when the game comes out next year. But I have promised you more than just a breakdown, so let's get straight to it. I have noticed Lucia is wearing some kind of AirPods, which indicates that we might be able to listen to music without being in a vehicle. We will have the opportunity to dive deep into water, and there are also some animals to discover. But watch out! We can hunt animals from deers to alligators, but be careful out there, you are not even safe on a boat. It seems like many new activities will come. For example, we can party on yachts, we can play basketball, we can have a race with crossroads and even go canoeing. Can't wait to finally play this game, and I'm sure we will see a lot about it before it comes out. There will be some sort of gameplay trailers, story trailers, deep dives, 100%. Grand Theft Auto 6 will be released May 26, 2026 for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. Thank you for watching and see you the next time.